Welcome in, everyone, to the Mark Lesko Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Lesko. I'm doing a story tonight on something that I've been wanting to do a story on for a while now. I just wanted to kind of collect my thoughts and just kind of decide on what I want to say. So, this story is about Calum von Moger and what's been going on with him lately, and kind of how I became to follow him, how I came to follow him, how I came to be an athlete for him, became such a big fan of his, and what's been going on lately. So, maybe some of you have seen, but he's just been doing a lot of weird stuff. He recently moved back to Australia and doesn't appear to be coming back. No one really knows what's going on. But I just want to say, first and foremost, I'm not here to bash Calum in any way. I'm not here to talk badly about Calum. I don't condone what he's been doing lately, but at the same time, I don't know what he's going through. I don't know what his story is. I don't really know what's going on with him right now. So I just want to make that clear right now. I'm not here to bash Calum or speak badly of him because I just don't know what's going on. So first and foremost, I started following Calum in 2015. This is right after I graduated college. I remember I was just making breakfast one morning. I was scrolling through YouTube and came across Calum's page. I had no idea who he was, never heard of him. And, I just really liked his personality, liked his physique, and I liked his videos. So I became a fan of his pretty quick. He had like 10 videos on his page. Like, he wasn't really well known. He had like a couple of bodybuilding.com videos, but he really wasn't that popular. Not a lot of people even really knew who he was. So I spent some time at Penn State after I graduated, like working and going to the gym there near the campus. And, being that I was a fan of Calum's, he had like 3 shirts on his website. Like, he didn't have much really. I was always wearing his clothes. I was always buying his clothes off his website, his Calum von Moger website. Staunch did not exist at that time. I believe he was a Cellucor athlete. So he was, I believe, was sponsored by Cellucor at the time. So he was not even remotely involved with Staunch at all. So I was always wearing his clothes because, I was always buying them off his website, and people at the gym, people around Penn State were kind of wondering like who he was. So a lot of people in this area, I'll take credit for him knowing about him, is because of my fanhood for him. The clothes that I would be wearing, stuff like that. Like, people came to know who he was because of me. So it's kind of funny, but obviously over time he's become much more popular. But eventually his website grew, his YouTube grew, his YouTube became pretty popular. He was getting like millions of views a video, became very popular. It was mainly just vlog style videos that he would make in the gym, stuff like that. So he really grew in popularity. He grew as a person. His physique grew also. And he had it all going for him. I mean, he had the physique, he had the personality, he had the story, he had the website, he had the popularity, he had everything. I think he could have been one of the most famous fitness influencers / athletes ever. More famous than Arnold Schwarzenegger, really. I mean that. He had everything going for him. And, that's kind of why I became a fan of his, because I kind of saw that coming. I was, like I said, I was always buying his stuff, and people would be like, "Oh, like, he's your hero." Like, he's like your favorite person. That's not true. Like, Calum wasn't my hero. I never saw him as my hero. I liked him. I kind of looked up to him. But he wasn't my hero. I don't really have a hero. I don't really have heroes. If I were to pick one, it's probably Arnold Schwarzenegger, because of everything that he's done in bodybuilding. Just in bodybuilding, nothing outside of that. Movies, stuff like that. But I guess he would be one of my heroes if I was going to pick a hero. But you know, Calum was never a hero of mine. He's something that I aspired to be in a way. So, like I said, he gained popularity, and eventually he started a supplement company. And a lot of people don't know this, but his first supplement company that he started was called Origin. And long story short, him and Brad Martin had beef. They had beef, I believe, it was in like 2017, 2018. I believe Calum was trying to partner with Brad on this supplement line, which is, in my opinion, a genius move because Brad still is very popular and they were both very popular at the time. So why not team up and start a supplement line? That would be awesome. That would be very popular. It would probably drive a lot of sales. But long story short, Brad, I guess, became pretty greedy. He wanted like a percentage of Calum's website. He wanted a part of Calum's YouTube. He was asking for stuff, from what I heard, that he had no business asking for. So he got pretty greedy. And apparently something went down where he tried to make a move on Calum's girlfriend at the time when Calum was overseas. Like a lot of stuff went down. And I followed it very closely. And eventually Brad and Calum came together on Calum's page, and Brad kind of apologized. And then after that, he kind of retracted his apology. And then Calum made a video saying like, Brad, I tried to help you. Like, we're done. You know, you messed up, basically, which Brad did. So Calum dropped his affiliation with Origin and Brad took it, basically. So Brad like took Origin, basically. I guess that's all I'll say about that. But Calum went on to make Staunch. So what another thing people don't know is Staunch, as you can see behind me here, the word staunch means loyalty. So Staunch, quite literally, is a shot of Brad Martin. So for those of you that don't like Brad Martin, Staunch is your company for sure. I'm not a big fan of Brad Martin, never was. I just don't really like him. I did meet him once, and I didn't like him when I met him. So that certainly didn't help the fact that I already didn't like him, but not that he really cares what I think, but I never really liked him. Didn't like him when I met him. Didn't like him after that. I still don't like him. So that's that. So Calum started Staunch, and as I was already doing, I was buying Calum von Moger gear. I started buying Staunch stuff, became an ambassador, and then eventually Staunch reached out to me and offered me an athlete sponsorship, basically an athlete contract, which I was very happy about. So over time, you know, just being a fan of Calum's, becoming an athlete and working with him, you know, it was a dream come true. Really, it was. I mean, he was someone that I looked up to, someone that I followed. He's very popular, and now I'm an athlete for him, and it was awesome, which I still am. I'm still an athlete for him, but that's basically how that went down. And after that, Calum was in a movie called Bigger. He played as Arnold Schwarzenegger. So like he just climbed and climbed and climbed. You know, he went from when I started following him to growing his YouTube, growing his clothing line, starting a supplement company, being in a movie. He was in Generation Iron 2. He was in Unbroken, which is, they're both Generation Iron movies on Netflix. Trying to think what else he was in. I think those are the only two, in Bigger, obviously, too. So he has, you know, he has a pretty good IMDb page, or IMDb, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but he has a pretty decent acting career behind him now, too. So one thing, too, about being an athlete is I wasn't an ambassador. I wasn't just an ambassador for Staunch. I was an actual athlete. So, you know, I was paid. I got a certain percentage of sales. I got basically a free stipend every month. I'll keep the figure to myself, but got a certain amount of money every month to get stuff for free. And it was awesome. Basically had free supplements every month. I had an abundance of supplements. and I have tons of gear. Like that flag back there was free. That hat signed by Calum is free. Those posters were free. I have free shirts, free tanks, free sweatshirts, free sweatpants, free swimming trunks. Like I have a free belts, free knee sleeves. I have free arm blasters, like everything. I have so much Staunch stuff that my closet is full of Staunch stuff, and it was pretty much all free besides what I bought before. That was cool. It was cool to be able to represent Staunch, make sales, be paid, and get free stuff, and be on their page. I was on their page a couple times, and like we got access first to new flavors. I mean, when they came out with, I believe it was cookies and cream. We got that in the mail. They sent us like Christmas gifts. We got, when he came out with pink drink, BCAs, we got that first. Just stuff like that. We always got first dibs at everything. And then up until, I think it was like about like this time last year, maybe, they would always just send us like between the 1st and the 10th of the month, they would send us an email with a link, and we'd go in there and order our stuff and go over the monthly tasks for that month. That's how it usually went down. And then eventually I had to kind of start reaching out to them, be like, hey, when are we going to get our link? You know, stuff like that. Some weird stuff has started happening, and it wasn't at no fault of my own, but I just started like, I started wondering what was going on. And then I believe it's like the end of last year, 2021. I was in a group meet with all the other athletes. There's about 40 of us. We were all talking. We were all wondering what was going on. And apparently I was like the last one to get my monthly stipend. I was the last one to get paid. And that was in December 2021. I was the last one that got anything. And that's because I was pretty close with the girl who fulfilled the orders and worked closely with Staunch. And because I was pretty close with her, staying in touch with her, you know, she got me my last order. And after that, she was leaving. She basically said that she didn't like it there. And another thing that she told me at that time was that Calum no longer had any affiliation with Staunch, and that he just wasn't part of Staunch anymore. And for me, it was like, well, if it's his company, how does he not have any part of Staunch? Like he founded it. So I was confused by that, for sure. Didn't really understand what she meant. But anyway, we were all talking. I was the last one to get paid, get supplements, stuff like that. But basically it kind of all started with, you know, Calum tore his bicep doing a tandem bicep curl with Chris Bumstead. That was like a couple years ago. They were curling 405, tandem bicep curl. Chris Bumstead, 3-time Olympian now in classic physique. And then after he healed from that arm injury, he was rappelling off a cliff in Australia and almost died. He slipped and like caught the rope, popped his quad, and re-tore his bicep. So that happened. And then like during COVID, basically had a son out of wedlock with a girl. And then that's kind of, I think that's about the time when stuff started like kind of getting a little weird. Like apparently because of all this, I saw this on Nick Trigili's channel. He owns like 5% of the company because of everything that was going on with him. So a lot of stuff has been going on. So basically he, I guess, kind of lost his affiliation with Staunch. And then like there was a few things that happened. Like he was like doing a lot of weird stuff on his Instagram story. I was sent a screenshot. It was from his son's mother saying like, I'm moving back to Australia. You're never going to get child support again. You'll never see me again. It was a screenshot of an email. Could have been fake. It looked real. But started with that. And then he did move back to Australia, and which is weird, especially during COVID. Like, I don't know why you would move back to Australia if you can just stay here. Not really sure exactly why that was, but then He was arrested after he had a road rage incident where he chased someone with a machete while he was back there. And then I think again he was pulled over and he had like meth in his car. He had like marijuana and steroids. So I believe he's on house arrest now. He's like kind of like living in a gym that's like owned by his parents, a building that's owned by his parents, put a gym in there and that's where he stays. And then I think he can be like out in the yard between that and his parents' place. I think that's stipulations of his house arrest. So I don't think he's supposed to be driving either, but then there was a video of him driving and he hit a kangaroo. And then he was doing this weird video where he was like showing us the injuries on his story. I didn't really see it. I just saw it on a couple of the YouTube videos, people covering it, showing the injuries. And then he like, to the kangaroo, he like cut the limbs off and then dumped it in the woods. Like just really weird stuff that none of us understand. And in that athlete group, there's people that were talking to him personally, and he wasn't really answering. He just said that he wasn't really affiliated with Staunch anymore. They weren't answering his calls. This is coming directly from him. And that was pretty much it. So we're just not sure what's going on. Like as athletes, we're not sure because we were pretty much ghosted. Being that I was the last person that got anything in the mail or got paid or anything like that, we pretty much got ghosted. So again, I'm not here to bash Calum. I'm not here to speak badly of Calum. I think he needs help, and I think he should get the help that he needs, because I mean, there's been RX Muscle. Leslie Timble has been on there talking about him. Dave Flumbo's talked about him. Leslie Timble is the sports psychotherapist that I have had on my show, that I'm going to have again on my show next week. But it's no one really knows what's going on. And as an athlete, it's disappointing because we were loyal to him and his company. And as of late, he was not loyal to us. So it's disappointing, for sure. And that's why I'm really not showing anything on here. I'm not really, going through any pages. Like I just want to kind of talk one-on-one about what's going on. So we hope that Staunch continues. I'm still an athlete. Believe my code still works. I took it off my bio and everything because they haven't paid me. So we're still athletes, but we're just not sure what's going on with Staunch. I believe Staunch still is a thing. I was actually probably going to place an order with them soon, just to kind of see if it works. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I wish we weren't ghosted. I wish they were as loyal to us as we were to them. And I hope it works out. I hope that we become Staunch athletes again. Calum gets the help that he needs. He reaches out to us, reaches out to me. It would be nice, but right now we just don't know. So basically, as an athlete, I wanted to get on here and talk about what's been going on, my experience, and what I hope for the future. Because there aren't a lot of YouTube videos out right now about it. But the ones that are like Kenny KO, Nick Trigilli, Bodybuilding BS, Greg Doucette, pretty prominent bodybuilding pages. I believe More Plates, More Dates did one on him too. So as an athlete, I just wanted to give my insight and give you a little background knowledge, I guess. I mean, if anybody knows background knowledge about the situation, it would be one of his athletes. So that's why I'm doing this. But yeah, I wish him the best. And if anything else happens, I'll certainly get on here and update everyone. But I guess if you can, give me your thoughts in the comments section. Give me your thoughts on what you think is going on with him. Give me your thoughts on what you think happened, what you think is going to happen. Just give me your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd appreciate it. And this channel is fairly new, but I'd appreciate if you like the video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. and continues to watch my videos, because my page is growing, and it's grown ever since I started it. It's going up and up and up, but definitely not where I want to be yet, but it will be soon. So I appreciate you guys watching the video, and until next time, guys, take care.